Hi, it's Gila Nehemiah, sacred erotic, self-love, poet, mentor, and author. And this is Collaboration Ascension Healing. And I am here with a special guest today, Kathryn Yarborough. I'm really excited to introduce her to all of you, whether you're watching live or on the replay. And this will be posted in Facebook as well as YouTube. Thank you for joining. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about Kathryn before we get into the questions. And if you have any questions, feel free to post them. We'll be answering them at the end of the question, when I do the interview. So Kathryn Yarborough is the creator of the Manifesting Clients Academy, an inspirational speaker and the author of the soon-to-be published Keep Moving Forward, a guide for the on-purpose solopreneur. Kathryn teaches heart-based, on-purpose solopreneurs how to unleash their light on Facebook, manifest clients, and grow a business they love. Thank you, Kathryn, for being here.
Well, I'm delighted, Gila. I think I love your vibration. I love your presence. So I'm really happy to hang out with you and chat and anyone else who's listening and tuning in.
We're happy to have you. This is such an important topic that we're touching on. I'm glad that you're here because so many people are starting their own businesses. They're feeling the call, the mission work, the divine, the universe is like working with us. The cosmos are pushing us, right? And, and how to manifest these clients. So tell us a little bit about your juice, your sacred sauce.
I so love that you get that the universe is calling to us. You just jump right into a piece of the work that I get to do that I absolutely love. Because
Fantastic.
I think, some people start their business for other reasons, but I absolutely feel called to work with people who feel called to do what they do. And what's interesting for me, from my perspective, is sometimes I don't even think we know exactly what we're called to do. Ooh, that's an exciting noise. Is that behind you? You got the cars back there.
We've got a lot of things going on here. I'm in Israel. Let's be real.
Oh my goodness. Wow. Okay. Some cool noises. So they're going, we're getting started with this on purpose business.
So exactly. Rev it up.
So, it's interesting because I work with people who feel called and I ask myself, so Kathryn, what do you feel called to do? And it's so funny because it's a feeling inside. For me, that feeling of calling, it's like there's something for me to do here. And just a week or so ago, I posted on Facebook, I said something like, I feel called I feel called to do something. Does anybody else? And I got so many responses to that question. I absolutely love it. There's just this feeling, and then taking that feeling that I feel called to do something. So in other words, a job is no longer satisfying. Fulfilling somebody else's vision and doing a role in somebody else's thing, for some of us, it's no longer right. It's not satisfying. We feel called to do something. And we don't always know what it is. Sometimes we feel on the journey, we go, well, I'll go do some coach training, or I'll go learn about the chakras, or as you learn about sexuality, whatever it is. And we accumulate knowledge. We start to work with people, some of us. And then as we start, the calling starts to form into a business for some of us. And so anyway, I that's a piece of what I want to say right now. Do you want to ask another question, or shall I keep going?
I'll ask some questions.
Okay.
I know as a business owner, I wouldn't call myself a newbie, but I'm 3 years into my business. And one of the first things was, like you said, number one, what's my message? What am I here to do? I once I knew, that's when I actually decided to open the business. I don't know. Everyone's different, right? You probably see different types of people. And then the question was like, okay, once I have an offering, how do I do this? I personally went through a program, but I'd love to know how you go through that. Like, what are the types of questions that you ask your clients?
So I have clients who come to me at all different stages on the journey. A lot of them have already started working with clients. So it's about similar to what you said, maybe they went through some sort of program, they put something together, they started to promote it and sell it, and now they learn something from that process and they want to take it to the next level. Some people just attracted a few clients and really haven't made that much money. And so, depending on the person, I would say that one of the most important questions that I ask people and I work with people about is, who is your ideal client? Because from my perspective, when it comes to growing a business, the whole business side of it, the piece that a lot of people don't focus on for some reason is who do they want to serve? Who do they like to hang out with? Who do they want to make a difference with? Who were they a few years ago? So that, because often we want to work with the people who are like who we were, because when we know who our ideal clients are, we can craft good offers. We can design our marketing to reach those people. One of the things I learned early on, even before I started my business, or right early on, I got this book out of the library back in 2001 when I started, and because that's when we used libraries back then. Anyway, I'm older than you, Gila. I know it. I know it. It's okay. But anyway, my point about this is that the message I got out of this book that I still think is so important is that if you focus on a specific group of people for all of that, you streamline what you do. You streamline all of your time and your money outputs. So, and you provide a service for a group of people. If you don't know who your people are, then you try to help everybody, and your marketing is like diffuse and it's not that effective. So, and what's true, I see it all the time. People don't want to decide that often, or they're going around and around and they're wanting to help everybody. But if you're honest with yourself, if you look at everybody, only a few people are willing to pay you money for what you offer. So get real about that, and get clear about that. So anyway, that would be the first question that I would ask my ideal clients. And sometimes people can decide that right away, and sometimes it takes time. It takes doing some more work with people and getting more experience before they can get clear about that.
Fantastic. I really like that. And I think that that's an ongoing thing. I've been doing this for a little while as well, but I feel like I'm always honing in, and sometimes I'm going into different markets, so how do I craft that message again, and how do I increase and as I this is personally, but as I grow, also my vision changes. And to also let people know, like, this is where I'm going with this now. With that, I didn't know even a year ago. I'm different than I was this year, So and I think that makes it dynamic for me. That's what I need. I need always to be like creating. I'm a very creative person, so that's the kind of I think we're all different.
We are. I want to speak to that though, because you mentioned my book, Keep Moving Forward. One of the things that I share in it that I totally believe is true, specifically for on-purpose solopreneurs, is that our clarification of what we're here to do unfolds. We often, people with, I think, a more traditional kind of business, maybe a restaurant or even a dry cleaning business, they have a picture of what they want to do before they get started. They take that picture to the bank and they get a loan and off they go. But for us who feel called, we get a piece. We take action. We get a piece. We take action. We get clearer. We get another piece. We take action. And that's part of the process. And understanding that and getting that's you're doing the right thing, that's right. And it's like, yeah, you're on the track, you totally are. And oh my goodness, I think it's good to know. So thank you for sharing that about yourself. That's certainly the case for me. What's been interesting for me is that I've been an entrepreneur since 2001. I first started as a dance movement therapist, and my ideal clients were people who had body image issues and wanted to feel more comfortable in their body. And then because I had to learn about marketing and manifestation to grow a dance movement therapy practice, I mean, how do you do that, right? I discovered that I love marketing, I love manifestation, and then I got divinely inspired to call what I did manifestation coaching. So I started to work with people about manifesting. And then as I did that, I discovered over the years that I actually prefer working with other entrepreneurs. And in particular, what's gotten clearer as I've taken one step after the next step is that I love on purpose, heart-based solopreneurs who feel called to do what they do. And even more clearly, just in this last year, I launched in November for the first time the Unleash Your Light on Facebook program. And because I've been doing a lot of my attracting on Facebook, I have wisdom about it. And I actually have narrowed my targets, my ideal clients even more to on purpose, heart-based solopreneurs who want to attract clients on Facebook. So it's even more targeted, which is like, I'm dumbfounded at that. I'm like, really? Who knew? And because I'm on this journey of taking one step after the other. It may change. I mean, anyway, who knows what tomorrow will bring as us people who feel called to do what we do. So.
Well, I love that because, whoever's watching and who's going to be watching the replay, it's really important to be moving, because, and I love the name of your new book, Keep Moving Forward, because that's what it is. It's like, I was listening to Amanda Lawrence a while ago, and she's like, we all don't know, we all don't really know what's next. But when we feel that calling, when we allow ourselves, to manifest, to connect to the divine, then like I just feel divinely guided, and it becomes so much. I used to be in fear, really, when I first started. I was so afraid to even get on camera. It was so scary to me because I was like, oh my God, people can actually listen to me. Like, oh no, what if I mess up? But now I just feel that support of the universe. And I think it's important, you have a group, and I've noticed in my own groups that I manage, it's like with clients, and it's so important to have that support group. It makes a world of difference, especially when you're starting out, and even when you've been like a seasoned, business owner. I think support, it means the world to me.
Mm-hmm. I totally agree. And as I said, I work often with solopreneurs, and we are just doing our own thing. So to not have people to talk to not have a community, it can be so lonely. And that's one of the reasons why one of the services I offer is my Moving Sidewalk movement. It's a community. I have a Facebook group, but I also have members who pay me, and they come to classes regularly and do different things with me because it's so nice to have other people who we can share our path with. And some of these people who have worked with me have known each other for, gosh, a year, a couple of years, and they're like, they're transitioning with their work, and they're like cheering each other on and going, yay. And it's just, it's so cool to see that.
Yeah, it really is. It's amazing. It's amazing. I mean, as much as this pandemic, has been happening, and people, we've been, our lives have changed. I really feel like, now I have people from Australia to Oregon, like in my group, like all over the world, which is like amazing to me, and I feel blessed, I feel blessed to know these women. And I think that when we can look at it from all parts, just looking at it as a whole, there's so many things we can get out of being in the physical as well as in the virtual world.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah. So I don't know if I'm a member of your group. I've got to be sure to join it and check it out and hang out with you.
Join.
What is it again for me and everybody who's listening?
Yeah, that's right. Thank you. And we'll share yours as well. Mine is Embody Your Deepest Desires on Facebook, and yours?
A Moving Sidewalk Movement.
Moving Sidewalk Movement. Yes, and I don't type it that fast, but I type. I'm on my daughter's keyboard, so it's not mine. And when we make a little change, sometimes it does help. So Moving Sidewalk. Sidewalk. What is it?
Moving Sidewalk Movement.
That's it.
So let me explain that. While you're
go ahead.
That in,
yes,
because it is a little strange name. So it's an interesting story too. One of the things you asked what I do with my clients. One of the things that I do periodically with my clients is I invite them to tune into what I call their future on purpose self. Now, I believe that we all have a future on purpose self. And this is the part of you in the future who went on a journey into the future and said yes to your purpose. She is actually totally fulfilling your purpose. So, all those moments in time where we could either do it or be in fear and not do it. Oh, thank you. Join Kathryn's Moving Sidewalk Movement Facebook group. How nice. So we have a future on purpose self who stayed encouraged and kept taking the right action to fulfill our purpose. Your purpose, I do my purpose. So what I learned years ago was if I connect with her, she can show me a future where I am fulfilling my calling. So she would show me that I was speaking in front of large groups. And I was like, what? and my future on purpose self is confident. She is making a difference in hundreds of people's lives, thousands even. And she is just this amazing woman. She exudes love. And I'm tuning into her right now as I share. So, and anyway, she's just wonderful. When you connect your future on purpose self, you can paint a picture of a path, of a direction where you can go with your business and your life. And there's a between where you are and where she is. When you're on that path, it can feel like a moving sidewalk because, in fact, your future on purpose self is doing divine work. She is doing what you're here to do, what you're called to do. And so if you're on the path to become her, energy from the divine flows into you and through you and moves you forward. So if you're tuned into her, it feels like a moving sidewalk. So I was on a call with a client and she was writing a new story. It's one of the things that I teach my clients to do because we are powerful co-creators. If we're intentional about the stories we tell ourselves, we can create a future that we want. So instead of relying on the old story that maybe we don't have as many clients as we want, we can change it. And that particular day, she had already known all about the stuff around the future on purpose self. She knew about the path, which can also be called the purpose path. And she knew that I called it the moving sidewalk movement. I said, why don't you write a new story that starts with, I'm on my moving sidewalk and this means, and then fill in all the details. And she wrote that story, and Gila, that story just, I was like, oh my God, yes, yes, yes. It was so exciting and so inspiring. I said to her, and I've never said this before. I didn't say it before. I haven't said it since. I said, I'm writing that same story. I'm using that prompt and writing my version of it. And I've never said it. I've never done anything but, and so, and I told her, I said, I'm going to write it and I'm going to let you know that I wrote it. And I have a notebook. It's my moving sidewalk movement notebook. And every single day since that moment, that was in March, it's part of what happened out of COVID, I have either written that story or read it once or more. I'm on my moving sidewalk and this means. And what happens is when I read that story or I write it or I say it, I feel so good that the divine flowing to me and through me. I feel joy. I feel on purpose. I feel moving forward. I feel great. And the vibration we are most consistently vibrating is what we're creating in the future. So my goodness, why don't I read that story more than once a day? I mean, seriously, I keep telling myself twice a day, 3 times a day, and sometimes I get it in twice a day. I need to do better. So
I love that. I love
Mhm.
that. Yeah, I love that story because it's actually very similar to mine. Because I actually, I followed a desire that I had, and I realized, that's why my group is called Embody Your Deepest Desires. And when I followed that desire, I realized it came true, So I was like, wow, I got something there. Maybe if I have another desire, I can make that happen too. I mean, not make it, but, connect with the divine and, co-create.
Yeah.
And that was it. That's how it flowed. And so I do a very similar thing. I really ask my clients to write down what is your desire. And I use the moon cycles actually as well. So depending on where the moon's at, let's focus on it. And now it's actually in the divine feminine. This is our dream state. So, we focus on our dreams and how do we allow that to occur and take our intuitive hits together. So yeah, we're totally aligned. I love it.
I knew I was excited about this call for a reason. I mean, seriously.
So do you do any energy work with your clients?
I have never trained as an energy worker. I have my background as a dance movement therapist, as an integrative breath worker, which is the training that I received as a breath worker was very intense, several years of a spiritual path and using breath. And I would say that I use energy, but I'm not trained as an energy worker. So I'm very intuitive. I do use these things, but my intention is not, I don't specifically invite people to come to work with me so that I can use energy. But when I'm working with them with a new story, I am tuned into the field. I'm opening to possibilities with them. So I would say that I probably am an energy worker, but that's not how I promote myself. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. Thank you for sharing that. I wanted to know if there's anything that you have right now that people might be interested in. Is there any course or something that you're working on that you'd like to tell everyone about who's here and on the replay?
Sure, absolutely. So first of all, no matter what, come join me in the Moving Sidewalk Movement Facebook group. It's a great community. It's growing. It's small and growing, and I love it. And I'm going to be loving it even more as the year goes by, as the days go by. I want it to be just a really juicy base for people. So that's free. But the program that's coming up, if you are interested, if you like my energy and you want to attract clients on Facebook, my Unleash Your Light on Facebook program is starting again on March 8th. So it's a fantastic program. It's a 12-week program. And I don't typically talk about it with just brand new people because it's not cheap. It's not inexpensive. And so I would prefer to tell y'all about something that's less costly, but this is what's coming up. It's starting March 8th. So, and I will probably do it again in the fall, late summer or fall. But anyhow, the Unleash Your Light on Facebook program is for on purpose solopreneurs and small business owners who feel like they've either been holding themselves back on Facebook and want to really show up more fully, or who feel like they've been spinning their wheels on Facebook. So maybe they're showing up, but what they're doing isn't leading to them having the clients that they want. And so they need to design a plan that's actually going to work and implement it. And so if you're either one of those kind of people, you can go to unleashyourlight.net, and find out about the program, and feel free to message me or email me if you have a question, if you want to hop on the phone to talk about whether or not it's the right thing for you. There's currently an early registration. It's one payment of $797 or six payments of I think $137, something like that. So as I said, it's not the under $50 offer for somebody who's just meeting me for the first time. But you can join me in my Moving Sidewalk movement, and I do other things that are less expensive. Yeah, so just come hang out with me, or if you are ready right now to unleash your light on Facebook, and maybe you're listening to this so that you can find out about this program, by all means, unleashyourlight.net. And, it's a great program. I can't say enough about it. And I am not a braggart. So I very seldom say things like that I can't say enough about it. I've done it once. We're finishing up the first time, and I'm going to be tweaking the content, but the content's fantastic. So I can't say enough about it. I love this program.
That's great. It's great to love something that you're doing, right? It helps you I know sometimes I'm actually really tired and I have like a group call, for my group program, or I have a one-on-one, and then suddenly I just wake up, I'm like, why was I tired? And then I just, the passion just comes through. So I think that's exciting. So yeah, definitely. If anyone is resonating with Kathryn, definitely go to, check out her Facebook group. as well as, that we posted here, moving sidewalk movement. And if you are both, check out her Unleash Your Light .net. Definitely join her Facebook group just to get some more info about her and feel her energy, because I feel like that's what always helped me. I would just follow someone I liked, and then things just happened, and I wasn't doing it on purpose, but I think subconsciously I probably, it was just energy was flowing and I was just following the signs. So that is amazing. But you do have an offer that you wanted to share with us, right? About your free Facebook map or something like that. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
I do. I have a map that explains a way that you can go from not having clients on Facebook to having clients on Facebook. It comes with a guide, so it's not very long. It's kind of like an ebook. So I call it a map and a guide. And you can download it right away. It's free, and we'll stay connected because you'll be signing up for my e-list. Of course, you can unsubscribe anytime. We're all savvy about that. So go ahead, get it, and check it out. Look over the map, read what I have to say if you want to attract clients on Facebook. Because if you're listening to this, if you're connected with Gila or me, I know you're a really cool person. You've got to be if you hung out with this energy that we're in, and we're like purposely manifesting. I mean, we're two awesome women, so I know you have to be too if you're listening. So check that out. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and fantastic.
Do you have the link for that?
I don't have it at the moment, but I will definitely post it in the notes. Or I might actually, hold on, let me just check. I have your info here. Maybe if it isn't that, looking for it, sorry. Oh yes, here. Actually, it's on your website that I do have posted here.
Yeah.
It's on your website /free Facebook map, correct?
Correct. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have a place that if they go to manifestingclientsacademy.com, there isn't a. Are you there?
I'm actually typing it out. That's a better idea. I just go there and I copy the link. Hold on a second.
Yeah, I need to make it there a link right on. So if you just go to manifestingclientsacademy.com, they'll be at the top free. I need to do that. It's an update from my website that I'm being called to right now because we take one step and then the next and then the next. And we learn.
Well, just making some spaces, but I'll put it actually in here in a moment. Just wanting to pull it up myself, but thank you for doing all that. It's not finding the page for some reason. Hold on a second.
You know what? I can probably type it in the comments, right?
Yeah, see if you can. No.
See, I don't see how I could type it in the comments. I'll send it as a private chat to you. So there we go.
Yeah, that'll be great. That would be fantastic. Thank you. Just didn't.
But
perfect.
I don't know
Thank you so much.
I don't know how to do it otherwise. We're figuring it out.
Yeah, it's on the fly, right? This is how things work sometimes. It's on the fly. Yes, thanks. I got that. And I'm going to pop it into this chat. So you're going to have it. Everyone's going to have it. And I'm going to post it right here. Yes, here we go. I forgot something. Anyway, thank you so much. So you can access it right here. And if it doesn't show up in the comments, I'll definitely put it in after we're done, both in YouTube and Facebook. So all the links that we just shared. So, so exciting about this. I know that so many people are going to find this very, very useful. So thank you for doing all that and sharing some of your wisdom today. If anyone has any questions, we're here and we'd love to answer any of your questions. I know that I would, and Kathryn, I'm sure would as well. So don't feel shy. This is the opportunity to be in your energy and allow yourself to just ask. It's always questions. I think it's really important. I know as a kid, I was really, really shy. But as I grew older and I realized the importance of my voice, it was really helpful for me to start speaking up. So we're here. And if you don't feel comfortable, definitely DM. Are you accepting DMs, Kathryn?
I do. Now, I have discovered that people who are older, that's me, say PM, personal message, and people who are
Okay.
younger say DM, direct message on Facebook. I just find that so interesting that
Very
they're like,
interesting.
how did that happen? Explained it to me that there's a reason why there's a difference. But anyway, I'll take a DM, I'll take a PM, I'll take a whatever. I don't know, maybe because of perimenopause or I don't know.
Could
PM
be,
comes up
yeah.
with sounds almost like yeah. I anyway, I'll take any kind of message. So feel free to reach out to me.
You're very funny. Yeah, so send Kathryn a message if you're interested, either in Facebook or you can go to her website. I'm sure there's a contact info there, and you can send it that way. But definitely join her group. And I think that you're just doing amazing work. And I'm looking forward to your book. If you just want to say a few more words about that, we'd be more than happy to hear that.
I am looking forward
Keep
to it
moving
too.
forward.
My publisher, editor, she's great. Her name is Sue Fitzmaurice. I know we both know another publisher, editor. Um, okay, Laura Franco, and you do a lot of people with books, right? Too, you help them
Yeah,
with
I
their
help
books.
people to write their stories. Yes.
Yes. So my person who I've known her forever for a really long time, it seems like. Anyway, I'm like, oh God, I can't believe this is taking so long. She's like, a book just bursts at its own time. It's this process. It takes on a life of its own. So that's what I'm experiencing. It's all written. I'm in the editing process, and Gila, you can, I'm sure, appreciate this. Edited the whole thing once. I went back the second time and I discovered that one chapter was 1/3 of the book. and I
Wow.
and I know and I went through the whole book and I didn't realize that, but all I knew was that one chapter I really needed to work on. And so I went back after I'd gone through the whole book and I pulled it all out and I counted up the pages. I was like, oh, oh. So I need to go work on that one chapter and tweak it and break it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean, to work on it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm so
Right.
looking forward to this book. I have a cover for it.
Oh,
I've got
great.
other things that I need to work on in order to publish and sell it and everything. Um, but I am really looking forward to the editing and the writing of it being pretty done soon. But takes the time it takes because I
Fantastic.
gotta live. I
Yeah.
gotta live too.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. I want to just say a few words about that. My poetry book is coming out in a few weeks. And that was like, I was sitting on this for a year. I wanted it done last year and it didn't happen. But I realize now everything just kind of came together. It's my first time self-publishing, so I'm really, really excited about it. And I just kind of, because I think that, no matter what you go with a publisher or you publish on your own, whichever way you go, whatever feels right for you, I think that there's just so much opportunity now to collaborate and to create something. Like for me, the artwork and the poetry and all of it is just very creative and exciting for me. So yeah, I understand the process and how personal it can be as well.
Hmm. Yes. Well, so I'll say something about it just in case anybody just
Yeah,
to
sure.
so it's called Keep Moving Forward, a guide for the on purpose solopreneur. And it's really a lot of it's about the spirituality piece. And for me, it's about this whole thing about being called and tuning into your future on purpose self, and then integrating that with the practical. Like how do you have all that going on? How do you understand that path as an on purpose solopreneur and then make it practical so you actually manifest clients and grow a business that you love and be able to support yourself? So that's really my intention with the book. And I love it because it's helping me by writing it. It's helping me really consolidate what I teach my clients and get super clear. I'm saying that I'm calling a piece of what I do the keep moving forward approach. And we don't have time. We've talked too much, but maybe next time.
What did you want to say?
Well, I mean, it might take a couple minutes here to talk about the keep moving forward approach.
Yeah, let's do it. Keep moving forward.
Okay. All right. So another metaphor that I use is that that growing a business is like going on a trip with your car. So, for example, if you have this vision of your future because you've connected with your future on purpose self, then you have a destination where you want to go. If you go on a trip in your car, if you don't have a destination, you can go around and around in circles. You can just get in your car and start driving. And I think sometimes that happens. So I think it's really important to get clear about your vision. But if we use this metaphor, there's four people in the car. They're all aspects of you. Plus, there's the trunk, which is an aspect of you too. So if you're going on a trip, which is the metaphor of growing a business, the destination is your vision for your business. Like, what do you see is possible if you really go for it? And then the driver part of this metaphor is the part of you that holds the vision, that stays looking towards that future, keeps you going. The person in the right side, I like to talk about as the navigator, the planner, the person who designs the plan. So we've got to create a plan for our businesses about how do we get from where we want to go to there. But if we're driving in a car, we need a map. So it's that person creates the map and tells the driver, turn here, turn there, go there, right? We've got a person in the back seat who is potentially the cheerleader or the discourager. That's the part of you that's whispering in your ear. What are you telling yourself? How are you talking to yourself? Which we spoke to earlier, that whole thing about telling yourself about a future that feels good, right? So you can manifest your deepest desires. The fourth person in the car, I think of as the action taker. And so there's this game that I don't know if you experienced this where you grew up, Gila, but sometimes kids will, teenagers at a red light, when they get to a red light, they'll hop out of a car. I think it's called Shiny's red light. They'll hop out of the car and run around the car. So that's the metaphor that comes to me when I think about this. But we're not just running around the car. We're getting out of our car and we're taking action. So we have to take action to grow a business, and we have to do stuff like you had to reach out to me. I had to reach back to you in order for this interview to happen, in order for potentially somebody who doesn't know me or doesn't know you to find out about each other. This is action taking. And so we have to take action to grow our businesses. And then the trunk can be filled with all kinds of old stuff. Old messages, old experiences, all the stuff. You know what I'm talking about? So we need to clear out the trunk because we don't want it weighing us down so that the car never leaves the driveway. We want to be able to keep moving forward. And so as long as we keep moving forward, it's great. Yes, yes, yes. We will get there. So yes,
we will.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think that is it's an interesting thing. I mean, I know we're about to close, but this is an interesting point, and maybe we can meet again another time about that. Sometimes I think we feel stuck. And I think that stuckness, you know, now that word is also kind of sticky, but that stuckness is like, we're actually still moving. It's like the car, right? You know, the car, maybe it's even in neutral, but you're actually still moving. You know, if you think about it, you're still moving, but we don't perceive that as movement. And I think that is also very fascinating because, you know, like I've been reading all these different posts today about like, look how far you've come. And it's true, you know, like we're not stagnant at all, but sometimes we perceive ourselves to be for a variety of different reasons. But I love that. And I love what you just said about all the different parts of you in the car. I think that analogy was really beautiful. So I'm looking forward to your book. And thank you for sharing that and all your wisdom today about all the different groups and your offering as well. It sounds super yummy. I'll definitely check them out. And I'm encouraging anyone who's listening in today or listening on the replay to find out more about Kathryn. And I really loved having you today.
My pleasure. Totally. I'll be back anytime you ask.
Thank you so much. And please look into my group, Embody Your Deepest Desires, and as well as my upcoming book, Surreal Love. It'll be out in a couple of weeks, and there will be a big splash about it. So look out for that. I also have a group program. So if you are interested in living your soul's purpose and speaking your truth, it's a healing group as well as really focusing in on a little bit of what Kathryn was saying, focusing in on what is your vision and letting go of the trauma. I've really focused on women who have been experiencing chronic trauma over a number of years, and how to let go and release those stories so we could step into our new vision and our new manifestations. So thank you so much. What can I say? It's been amazing.
Me too. Back at you.
Thank you. So I thank everyone for watching. And if you have any questions, please let us know. Thanks again.